Good afternoon. My name is Dan Drake. I am a senior wargaming facilitator at L3 Communications in San Diego, California. I'm a retired naval aviator and former military professor at Annapolis, Maryland, United States Naval Academy. Today, we're going to talk about perception and how sometimes perception can lead us down the wrong road. I'm going to do an example with an ordinary deck of cards. I'm going to use my assistant here to confirm, Danny, would you, that it is an ordinary deck of cards for everyone, yes?
Yes, it is.
An ordinary deck of cards, okay. And so what we're going to do is I am going to just cut through the deck here, and I want you to say stop anytime. Anytime you see a card that you like, a card
Stop.
that catches your eye, the jack?
The jack.
We'll go with the jack. Go ahead and hold the jack out so everyone in the audience can see. Now, every deck has a greedy card. And in this particular deck of cards, the greedy card is the Queen of Diamonds. I'm going to see if I can find the Queen of Diamonds for us. There she is, right there, the Queen of Diamonds, the greedy Queen of Diamonds. Now I'm going to show you how greedy she is, Danny. I'm just going to rub her across the face, and hopefully everybody saw that to see if did she steal a pip? Nah, she didn't steal a pip from the jack, or she didn't steal his robes. I'll tell you what, sometimes she gets a little weird about what she steals, and I think in this case, it would appear that she stole the color off of the back of the card, and she turned that red card blue. Now, believe it or not, the Queen is so greedy that even if we spread the deck out on the table and just gently brush her across the entire deck of cards, she will successfully turn the entire deck blue just by stealing their color, the greedy Queen of Diamonds. But then again, not everything is as it seems. The greedy Queen of Diamonds, maybe she wasn't even red after all. Maybe she was blue the entire time. Now, how did we fall for that? Well, I preyed on your perceptions. I brought out a red box. Red cards come in red boxes. I pulled out the deck with the one red card, that greedy Queen of Diamonds on top. And when I gestured, I was very specific about how I did it, and I kept reminding everybody as I cut the deck from the bottom that the cards were red, but I kept flashing the same card the entire time. I preyed on your perceptions, okay? Sometimes perceptions can lead us down the wrong road. What am I talking about? How can this apply to our lives? How can this apply to our lives at work, at school, in the military? If I show up to class and the teacher is rushing through the lesson, she's being short, answering the questions, and putting the assignment out in a very quick manner that isn't normal for that instructor or that teacher, well, maybe the teacher's having a bad day, and I perceive that, and I adjust how I interact with that instructor accordingly. Okay? If we say, look at a picture of famous actress Hedy Lamarr. Very big. In the golden age of Hollywood, starred in Cecil B. DeMille's famous Samson and Delilah. She was Delilah. Highly regarded as one of the most glamorous and beautiful women in Hollywood, and as a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Did you know that Hedy Lamarr has the patent for frequency agile torpedoes? Yeah, something that applies in the military, that applies to me as an anti-submarine warfare instructor. But you wouldn't assume that by looking at her. You would think the person with that patent had glasses on and a pocket protector and something along those lines that fits more of what we would expect by someone who would have patented frequency agile torpedoes. How does this apply? When I taught at Annapolis, I would show the mids pictures and explain to them how in the military we make judgments based on what we have on our collars, what we have on our chests. I can tell somebody's career by what they show me on their uniform when I meet them. Before I've even spoken to them, I know where they've been, what they've done, and how long they've been in. So, take this young man, for example. Okay, has what we call the full metal pocket. Pretty much every ribbon and medal in the uniform store, and quite a handful of decorations too, and the insignia of an Air Force Master Sergeant. Now, we can make a lot of assumptions about this person by looking at him, but that face also looks like he hasn't shaved many times. Looks a little too young to have done all that. So we adjust our perceptions. And we say, you know what? Maybe this guy hasn't done all that. Turns out this gentleman is an imposter. He was an airman first class who reported to duty at an army base and thought he could fool everybody, and so just gave himself every medal in the book. Because sometimes our perceptions can fool us. We need to turn over that card and see what color it is, correct? When I teach anti-submarine warfare, one of the most difficult things in the world to do is to find a submarine under the water. And we have certain ways that we do it. We use acoustic processors, active sonar, passive sonar. And most of the time, 90% of the time, we're chasing something that isn't there. And so we have to look for what's not there to see what's there. That's part of perception. And the way I teach that is I show this picture. It's a Magritte. It's called the treachery of images. And what it says in the bottom in French, it says, this is not a pipe. Well, you can't clean it with a pipe cleaner. You can't stuff it with tobacco. You surely can't light it because it is an image of a pipe. It has everything that a pipe has except for that reality. Perception is not always reality. We learn that, but can we apply it every day? Yes, we can. We have to turn over the card because your perceptions can sometimes fool you. Thank you.